Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are learning again one of the most key openings in chess. It is part of this month's chess.com opening roulette. It is the King's Indian defense. Now with white you can play the King's Indian attack, which is a similar setup but with the white pieces. But the King's Indian defense is all about the setup that black takes against d4 with the black pieces, obviously. So we're going to go in and we're going to go through a couple of moves, and there's one key point that I'm going to make to you. So firstly, it's a d4 opening. It spawns mostly from this. Knight to f6, c4, g6. And then here, the most common move to make this a King's Indian, which is what you want, is knight to c3. Very quickly. If black here plays d5, you're no longer in a King's Indian, you're in a Grunfeld. Now, I'm releasing this video on the Saturday. On the Monday will be a video all about the Grunfeld. But do not worry about the variations in this video. The PGN will be down below in the description. So, don't worry about that. But yes, knight to c3, bishop to g7. And now you play e4. Again, if you elect not to and play knight f3, you are opening yourself up again for the Grunfeld. This would just be a delayed version of it. Anyway, e4. d6, you've got to play d6 so that you don't get stormed in the center. There could be a push. So then knight f3, castles. And here you can play, here the most common move is bishop to e2, just developing a move. There is one other move that is half worth mentioning, and that's just h3. You don't need to play it. This light squared bishop doesn't come out here. It shouldn't. I'll now explain why later. So bishop to e2. e5. Black strikes back in the center. You might say, can't I win a pawn? Because the main move here is castles. Knight to c6. d6, d5. Knight to e7. And this is the main position of the King's Indian. And remember I said this bishop doesn't come out this way. It's because you're going to play f5. You're going to get this knight out the way, to one of these squares, and you're going to play f5. And if they don't take, you're going to play f4. And you're going to bring these pawns down the board. And white's counterplay comes on the queen side. They attack on the queen side, you attack on the king side. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. That's why you play this. Hikaru Nakamura has made it like his... sorry again about my nose. Hikaru Nakamura didn't popularize this opening, but used this opening to great effect. And it's better for white. It's like +1, according to the engine. This position, it's really better for white. White's got slightly more space, but black's game plan is so easy to play. And it takes white a long time to break through on the queen side. And remember, you're not breaking through to anything special on this side of the board. Like, white's king is over here, and you sometimes struggle as white to get pieces in the right way. Sorry, I need to just do something.
A few moments later.
My apologies for the edit. Anyway, as I said, black attacks on the king side, white attacks on the queen side. Now, you might say, hang on, after e5, I am tactically astute. Can't I win a pawn? With d takes e5. D takes e5, queen takes, rook takes, knight takes. Can't I win a pawn? The engine and I both say no. Why? Because you run into knight takes e4. You do not have a castled king. You can say, I grab that knight, I grab that. And then this bishop comes alive. We don't want that. Remember, in the position that you reach, the part of the reason it's better for white is because this bishop is fianchettoed. It can't see anything until they prepare f5. That is the whole point. Like, you're playing without a dark squared bishop. So you could... The best thing to do is to try and trade it. Or not trade it. You can keep it on the board, but just don't let it open. That's part of the reason why you play d5. Because, A, they're threatening to win a pawn. But again, you don't take this. Because, well, knight takes, here, here. We get the queens off the board. Or here you probably would play... Yeah, best move is like bishop to e3... c6. You just let the queens stare at each other. Yeah, there is one other variation you need to be made aware of. Here, knight to f3. There is one alternative move, which is just bishop to e2. But if we follow the main line, you get to the same position. Look familiar? Yeah. Okay. One other variation you need to be made aware of, and that is one that drastically changes everything. That is f3. This is the same-ish variation. It's a popular line, and it just strengthens the center. So castles, now we get bishop to e3, which is a move we didn't see before. d5 now instead of e5. We develop the knight. We don't let them take. We're happy if they take. Like, let's be honest here. If the position doesn't lock, yes, you activate this bishop, but you're still okay. You're still okay. So now, here, the knight comes out. We kick it out again. We lock the center. We're fine with that. Now the knight comes into the center. We just rotate our knight out this way, and then they play e6 to start breaking at the center. Remember, they never got to play e5. And this is a different way to play. It kind of avoids the main ideas. You probably won't be getting, your f5s. You won't be getting as violent a game. You'll be getting a very maneuvering game. You've got to always keep watch. White's got a lot of space advantage, but these pawns can always become delicate and be undermined. With your knights coming out this way, bishop here, and pawns coming on the queen's side. And there's still the lurking threat of f5 in certain positions. So it's a very dynamic position that can work out really, really nicely for you. Sorry, as I move the screen up and down. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, Grunfeld is out on Monday. Please let me know what you think. If I covered enough for you, if you would like me to cover more of the King's Indian, I gave you the key ideas and the main line and one or two other sidelines. Please let me know what you think down below.
A few moments later.